This Flamenco for You publication is presented to you by Flamenco for You founder and your personal instructor, Ben Stubbs. For more information and to receive free materials, news updates, and more, subscribe to Ben's newsletter at flamencoforyou.com.
Okay, so I wanted to make this video here for you to get familiar with the hands and how we talk about them, how we refer to them in our standard notation and our tablature, cifra. Here on the left hand, let's get started. Our thumb, we generally don't have that notated here in our sheet music. So we just count by number 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not like the piano. It's not like you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just get rid of that thumb. And we count 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Good. Okay. Bye-bye, left hand. Right hand comes into the picture. Now we use our letter system. So it's going to be P, I, M, A, E, or sometimes C. Okay, those are abbreviations for pulgar, índice, dedo medio, anular, meñique. Okay? P, I, M, A, E, or sometimes C, chico. Here in our sheet music, here at Flamenco for You, we use E primarily for the pinky. Meñique. Now let's talk about how we orient ourselves with the guitar. Generally speaking, it's good practice to get your I, M, A corresponding with the following strings: G string, B string, and A string. Okay? And also, of course, we want to talk about later the names of these strings, not only in Anglo-Saxon terms, but also in standard terms, in solfeggio. Okay, so coming back to the positioning, we have these fingers corresponding, I with G, and M with B, and A with E. And we have our thumb on the E string. And we want to have that thumb arced like this. We don't want it hooked straight, we want it arced. We want a good ratio of flesh to nail when we strike the string. Okay, so that's generally how we position our fingers once we pick up the guitar. So you'll see that my thumb's extended here past the A, I, and M, more towards the boca, the sound hole, and these more towards the center between the sound hole and the saddle. Okay. Let's take 2 on that one. Okay, what's next? Okay, now let's talk about rasgueados. What we want to do here is go through the different kinds that we will encounter from time to time. Okay, so the basic one, quick side note here is that some players, a lot of modern players now, just use A, M, and I. Here, we want to start out with our basic rasgueado, being downward, starting with the E. Okay, if you were to omit E, you would get A, M, I. Okay, now the next rasgueado is downward all 4 and up with the index. So we have So we have E, A, M, I, and up I. Down, 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 down. Sorry, once again. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. Okay, great. We've got that. Next one, we have a full rasgueado. So it's up and then up. Once again, P, E, A, M, I, and up, P. And you want to practice this in a rapid movement, sequentially. Ba, 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 ba. Slow it down. and build up to a faster speed of. And you can move around the strings of the guitar towards the sound hole and the saddle, and you can build up intensity. Okay, the next one will be a 3 fingers. We're going to involve the P. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. We're going to involve the P, I, and A. Not to be confused with the P, I, M. No, we don't do that. P, I, A. Let's start with P. Up P, down A, down I. Once again, up P, down A, down I, up P. Un, dos, tres, un, dos, tres, un, dos, tres. There we go. And you could start that sequence from I if you would like, depending on what the pattern you're playing dictates. So, down I, and up P, down A. As you can see, you can always take the Rasgueados and you can move them to the trebles, to the basses, all around the guitar. Next, we have 2 finger. We've got I and A. And similarly to the other one where we could start with pulgar and I, or even A. I didn't show you that. You could start with A also. With this one, let's start with down I. Okay, and then up I, down A. And once again, we can start the sequence with any finger in any direction that we want between these two. So either I or A, up or down, doesn't matter. Except for A. A is always going to go down. It's not going to go up. The only finger in this sequence that will go up is I. Listen carefully and watch. Okay. Up I, down A, down I, up I, down A, down I, up I, down A, down I. Okay, let's try it first with down A. A, I, A, I. Okay, so next we have a 3-finger rasgueado, and this is going to be A, M, I, A, M, I, okay, A, M, I. Okay, now we could do A, M, I, and then up I. So see how that was similar to the second set that we did, which was E, A, M, I, and up. We're just omitting the E. Okay, so this next movement we don't use too often in most of the sheet music that I provide to you, just because it's something that we use with baile. It's something that we use for dance accompaniment. And it's a very separated kind of movement, which involves the P, up, down, with the A, okay, down with B, up with P, down with A, down with P. Okay, so it has a very separated kind of movement to it. Now let's go on to address the movements with the I and the M. When we're doing Apoyado, we're doing rest strokes. Okay. Then free strokes. And with free strokes, we've got our fingers bent more than we do with apoyado, rest strokes. Those usually have a flex here at this knuckle. As we pull down with our fingers, they tend to be flatter, and we tend to allow this part to flex. Okay. And in contrast, we have the free stroke. So notice that different shape, apoyado, free stroke. Next, we have picado. Picado basically is doing apoyado, but muting the string immediately after you've played it. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm striking with M and muting with I. Striking with I, muting with M, and striking with M and muting with I. Okay, so review, what are the three that we have? We have apoyado, okay, and next we have free stroke, okay, let's try free stroke again. We have free stroke, okay, and we have picado. Next, we have arpegios. We can do an upwards directional, or rather downwards, because we're going downwards with our movement. P, I, M, A. P, I, M, A. Okay, and then we have an upward. So that's pulgar, A, M, I. Pulgar, A, M, I. And then we can have the full set going downwards and coming upwards. P, I, M, A, M, I. What did I do right there? Is I did a full cycle of the up and down, and then down. A, M, I, A, M, I. Okay? So a lot of times we'll use the downward arpeggio in like alegrías. We use it in soleares, soleá. And it's a really good go-to arpeggio for beginners. It's very easy. Just pull away. Once you have your fingers planted on there, pull away, and you got yourself a beautiful arpeggio. So I hope that you enjoyed that video. So we've gone over our rasgueados, we've gone over our picado, apoyado, we've gone over free stroke, we've gone over arpeggios, okay? So these are very useful things for the guitar, and they're indispensable to the flamenco guitar. They're just a part of the character and the sound of the flamenco guitar. Oh yes, and there is another thing I forgot to mention. This is very important. So we have golpe. Golpe is tapping on the plate of the guitar. So here on this flamenco guitar, and all flamenco guitars should have either transparent, white, black, whatever, plastic tap guard here that covers this area and this bottom area. And we want to tap on the face of the guitar with a little bit of flesh, a little bit of nail, so we get a good thump and a tap at the same time. Al golpe, you get this kind of movement with your thumb and all fingers. Okay, and of course you incorporate this golpe on your upstrokes and downstrokes many times. And we have, of course, the illustrious pop. This is when we take this finger. This is where we take the M and we tuck it into P and we knock it out like this. What are we doing? We're knocking right around this area with the M finger. Okay? And we're striking the rest of the strings. Immediately after striking the face of the guitar, downward like that. And those are the basic movements and hand techniques of the flamenco guitar. I hope you'd enjoy this video. Yes, I am hand talking. We'll see you later.